Okay, last time we talked about anatomy and musculature and stuff like that, and now this time we are going to be talking about how to pose those people and give them dynamic poses. Now, there's two types of poses when it comes to figure drawing: static and dynamic. Static is like what we did yesterday. Static is like, let's see, just sort of standing there, not doing anything. Static pose. Dynamic pose is like, the other direction. There we go. There's a dynamic pose. There's like an Iron Man character dude doing a dynamic pose. It's just like being off balance or having something more interesting or dimension or more than one forces other than gravity acting on your pose. So static pose, dynamic pose. That's a very important thing to discern when it comes to learning how to draw people. Now, I'm going to show you how to pose people, and I'm going to break it down into basic, simple elements, as simple as they get, and it's going to take a little bit of practice for you to like fully kind of get this down. But we're going to start off by just drawing spheres and cylinders. So I have a sphere right here. A sphere is a sphere in any perspective, however big or small. It'll always be a sphere. It'll always be seen as a circle. Every point is equidistant from the center. And if you can draw a basic circle, you can draw a sphere. A cylinder is a little bit more complicated. Here's two round sides connected by two tangents. The two tangents are actually a rectangle wrapped around, basically a toilet paper tube. So I would recommend practicing drawing cylinders and spheres until you can draw cylinders and spheres. And then the next step is to connect them. So put a sphere on the ends of your cylinder, and then put another cylinder on the end of the sphere. You want to get really good at this. You can get a little more interesting with it too if you want. You can vary the size of the sphere, make it look more interesting, and make these sort of DNA strand looking things. Now this is just an exercise. I recommend you do it on your time. There's no point in sitting around in the video here, but this is a really good practice here. So the point here is to think of this in terms of a drawing mannequin. So you can transform these joints into any body part you want to do, using the proportions that we covered in the last lesson. Now, an example. Let me see this drawing mannequins. If I can find the picture of drawing mannequins I have in here. Earlier, I think. Earlier than that. Let me just sort of go back with it. It might be in a different sketchbook altogether. It is, because that's drapery. So, let's go to the other sketchbook real quick. And here, as the mannequins that I drew. There we go. They are cylinders and spheres. This right here, it's basically a cylinder, just changed up a little bit. I made this kind of like the chicken leg shape right here. That's a cylinder too. Sphere, cylinder. If you can move the cylinder on top of a sphere, then you can draw a basic human pose. You can go as dynamic or static as you want, and life will be relatively easy in comparison to trying to just wing it. You'll see in like a lot of older like 90s comics. Now, the next part I'm going to show you is my own study method. My personal study method that I use. This is the last bit that we really need to talk about in regards to drawing the figure and posing the figure. When I'm studying and practicing figure drawing or drawing people, what I'll do is I'll make up a random dynamic pose. Just randomize the pose, right? So here's a pose I'm making up right now on the fly. making my musculature a little bit more realistic. That's not good. Okay, random dynamic pose. So what I do then, in the next part of this exercise, is to find flaws in my dynamic pose. Find parts of it that I need to study, things that I don't quite understand. Right now, I need to understand armpits better because I did not draw a good armpit there. Maybe I don't like how this is a right foot on the left foot. So wrong foot. The shoes are on the wrong foot, bro. The face doesn't have a face. Can't live without that. You can be as hard or as easy on yourself as you want to. I'd say be as hard as you need to be, because if you're too hard on yourself, you will stop and not want to continue again. So what I then do is I make a YouTube playlist for figure drawing, and I'll find every video I can on drawing faces, every video I can on drawing armpit, every whatever flaws I come up with, and go through each video, watch each video, and then go along with them, follow what they're doing, and do what they're doing, draw with them. And when your playlist reaches 0, because whenever you watch the video, you remove the video. So what you're gonna want to do is keep doing that until the playlist is down to no more videos, and then do another dynamic pose. Repeat the process until you are as good as you need to be for the given product or project that you're working on.